Welcome to LA Press Box, everybody. And thanks for spending part of your day with us as we get ready to finish out this series finale between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Mets from Citi Field. As always, we'll spend the next several minutes breaking down the biggest storylines for each pitch. We'll also look at recent team trends, examine how today's starting pitchers have been performing, and look at the matchup between each pitcher and the opposing lineup. That's the way we set up the command center here. We're also going to take a look at a couple of key factors as far as the outcome for today's game. So let's first talk about recent trends. The Dodgers over the last 10 games have continued to play excellent baseball, winning 7 of their last 10 games while extending their current winning streak to 4 games after yesterday's 4-3 victory. Their offense continues to manufacture runs throughout the lineup, and the pitching staff has consistently limited opponents in key situations, especially near the end of the game. You can see that, excuse me, you can see that the Dodgers rank much higher across the board from the Mets, whether it's their offensive production, production from their starting pitching and their bullpen, or the defense behind them. And the Mets are very mediocre, I would say, overall. Over the last 10 games, the Mets have really struggled to generate momentum. They've gone 4-6 over that period of time, dropping the first 2 games of this series, even though they've had several scoring opportunities. Yesterday, they had 10 runners that they stranded on base, and they just went 2 for 11 in those situations. So as you can see, starting on the left, we have the Dodgers defense versus the Mets offense. Emmett Sheehan gets the start today. He's 4-7 over the course of this season, and he's looking to reverse a difficult stretch recently. Over his last 7 starts, he's 1-5 with a 6.37 ERA, although his overall stuff, I want to focus with a little bit of time that we have left on the Dodgers batting order, since this is primarily LA fans site. But if you are somebody who's a Mets fan who just can't find the game or can't see it, or maybe you can, you're not blacked out, you're just looking for a companion, you're welcome as well. So Shohei Ohtani has several gold categories, as you can see, which we've highlighted for any batter on any team if they are in the top 20 in the majors. His average has slipped a little bit recently, but he's been able to produce hits with very few home runs. I can't remember the last time he hit a home run. So maybe today he'll get back on track with that. But regardless, he still has 22 on the season, and that still makes him elite. After him will be Andy Pages in center field, batting in his usual second spot. Then Freddie Freeman, who's been hot the last couple of games, multi-hit games going back to the previous series. Followed by Max Muncy in cleanup, who's also been doing a solid job, and Mookie Betts has been lurking. In the 6th spot will be Tommy Edman, whose average has now dropped to 330, but he still has the highest average on the team, and he's just become a little more human now that the grind of the season is starting to affect him like you would expect it to. When he first came back, he was pretty red hot, and I think some of that's because he joined the team late after his offseason ankle injury and his rehab assignment. Kyle Tucker in 7th spot, who has had a couple of multi-hit games recently and also been hitting some home runs. So it's really awesome to see his body language change and, of course, his production. And it's possible that Teo might be doing the same. We'll see how this series ends before the Dodgers get a brief but well-earned rest after this 9-game road trip. And then Alfonso is bringing up the rear as a catcher, and you can see that his average is pretty darn low. But he's still a great story that we've talked about periodically the last month or so. It is his first year in the majors after being in the minors for the last 10 years. All right, and that puts us to about 2 minutes, as usual, before the first pitch. At this point, it's a great time to get a snack, get your favorite drink, and settle in as we get ready to load the 3D. So, needless to say, as the 3D is just about going to load, that it's a story of two very different teams going in different directions, and some of that's obviously direct result of the Dodgers playing well. Although, before this last week, they had lost 5 of 7 games, but now they look like they're gaining a little bit of momentum. They're getting on a roll, and that's a great thing being in the early part of the second half of the season. That was a tease. It said it was 3D and it wasn't 3D. This is always a fun game when the Dodgers are on the road because we know Shohei Ohtani, who has not hit home runs for the last couple of weeks, is the first person up, right? And so, like, usually the 3D loads right as he's coming to the plate. And of course, I could narrate it for you, but I want you to be able to see some kind of a visual so that if he does hit a home run, you can kind of see him trotting, or who knows what he does. He hits a double, and you get to see him do the Dodger dance, all that good stuff. But today, the odds seem to be in our favor. And the next pitch on the way misses a little bit high, and now the count's 1-1 to Ohtani. If you're joining us from Japan, we have some viewers from Japan, subscribers from Japan. Konnichiwa. And Shohei starts with a hit to the gap. I don't know if he's going to go for 2. He is going for 2. And he's going to be in there for a leadoff double. Thank goodness he is safe. Because the last couple of games, he's twice tried to push it and get one extra base beyond what it looked like he could have gotten, and he's gotten thrown out. But that did not happen there. And great way to start this game. And now Andy Pages is going to come up. And the first pitch to Pages is well inside for a ball, 1-0. Gosh, a beautiful day in New York. Great day for a morning game, if you will. Pages swings and grounds to third base. And they're going to be able to hold Shohei. So that's going to bring up Freddie Freeman, who's been on a little bit of a roll lately. And swings and misses at the first pitch, which is just outside. Strike 1, 0-1. Hopefully enjoy our command center that we built from scratch. And Freeman steps out of the box. And Freddie Freeman fouls off the next pitch. So the count's 2-2 to Freddie. And the next pitch misses. Now the count's full, 3-2. And the next pitch, which would have been ball 4, clearly, he chases and fouls straight back. So the count remains 3-2. One out. Shohei Ohtani on second base. And the next pitch is blasted to the right, but just foul along the first base side, which of course is where Freddie plays on defense. So the pitch is starting to pile up for Freddie Freeman, and the next one is fouled off. These pitches right here look like somebody blasted a shotgun towards home plate and just sprayed all kinds of, oh, I don't know what that is. Maybe you can tell me in the chat. Buckshot? I've never fired a gun, let alone a shotgun. He fouls the next one off. But this is part of another foul. As the 3D makes it look like his bat's twirling. This is one of the things that makes Freddie, a future Hall of Famer. He just battles every single pitch. Well, I think we're at 10 pitches at this point. He grounds that one to second base, and that's going to be an easy out. But as you can see, it pushes Shohei to third base. And we'll see if the Dodgers can do something with that opportunity, as Shohei's in an easy scoring position early on. And the cleanup hitter for today coming up is Max Muncy playing third base. And the first pitch, eye level, hard to stay off for Max. This is one of the things that he does. Likes to attack high fastballs. Swings underneath it for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Next one, similar spot, but he does lay off of that one, and now the count's 1-1. And looks at the next. And ends up looking at the next pitch for ball 4 and walks. And now it's going to be up to Mookie Betts. Got to take advantage of this situation with 2 outs and runners at the corners. And immediately Mookie Betts grounds out, and that's it. So after their first crack at it, the Dodgers are not able to bring home either runner, especially Shohei Ohtani at third. And now it'll be the home team up next. So Emmett Sheehan to take the mound, and we'll be facing the center fielder A.J. Ewing to begin. Sheehan's pitched in 18 games this year, and as we said in the beginning, he's struggled the last couple of outings. His ERA is well over 6 in the last 4 games. So Sheehan starts throwing the ball 1-0. The next pitch is right there in the corner for strike 1, 1-1. Next pitch on the way, and struck to right center. Andy Pages is running up really hard to get it, And he misses. It bounces under his glove. Get up, Andy. Go get the ball. I think he's going to rely on Kyle Tucker to do it. Yep, Tucker did it. It looked like he didn't completely extend his glove, although that was a difficult catch to make, regardless. I think they're going to count it as a double. And they match Shohei. They lead with a double with their very first batter, just like Shohei Ohtani did. And now the Mets are going to bring up Lindor. Pitch from Sheehan. Lindor squares up to make it look like a bunt. Don't know if he was really going to bunt or he's just playing mind games. This is what some batters do with pitchers they know are struggling. They just try to throw them off of their game. But if he really wants to bunt, he'll probably show again. And he does. And he's not able to get the bunt down. Oh, boy. This is something that's got to happen almost automatically if you're a pro. They're on